Hi everyone, I'm Dan Abrams here in my Long Island home, in my living room, and I've partnered with History during this time. Together, we're going to be providing free history lessons for you, your family, your kids. Some of the topics will give perspective about things happening in the world today, but others are going to be a broader history across a range of topics. And this history at home is about Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States. He was one of our most popular presidents ever. He's even on Mount Rushmore, that great monument with Abraham Lincoln, George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, and yes, Theodore Roosevelt. He was the youngest president ever at age 42. And he became president by accident. See, he was the governor of New York. He liked his job. He had a lot of power. He had a lot of authority. He was making a lot of changes. He was asked to become the vice presidential candidate for then President William McKinley. And his first response was, "No way. I don't want to be vice president. It's too boring. You don't get to actually do anything as the vice president." But he was eventually convinced to take that role, and he and William McKinley won the election. But then there was a tragedy. Within a year, William McKinley was killed, and that meant that Theodore Roosevelt became president in 1901. One of the things he's best known for is having won the Nobel Peace Prize, the biggest prize one can win for helping to create peace in the world, because he helped to end a war between Japan and Russia by helping the two negotiate. One of the things he cared about most, though, was the environment, about parks and about animals and about the air. He once said, "There can be no greater issue than that of conservation in this country." Roosevelt actually created the United States Forest Service and established 150 national forests, 51 federal bird reserves. So many of the places that we go to today, where animals can roam free, where birds can be protected, where people can't build on those things, is thanks to Theodore Roosevelt. Maybe the most famous, enduring story about Teddy Roosevelt, as he was known, related to a time that he was on a hunting expedition. Someone came over because they couldn't find any animals, and they brought a bear over, tied it to a tree, and said, "Hey, Mr. Roosevelt, here's a bear to shoot as part of this hunting expedition." Theodore Roosevelt looked at the bear tied to the tree, and he said, "I'm not going to shoot that bear tied to a tree." A candy store owner heard about that and decided to create some stuffed animals that he would call teddy bears. And that's how we got the name Teddy Bear, was after Teddy Roosevelt.